Athena, report.
Sensors reading unidentified spatial anomaly in this sector.
Cross-check Atlas database for similar phenomena.
Acknowledged. No records found. Recommend mission abort.
Negative. Maintain course. The Kronos 2 remains priority.
Acknowledge. Delta Actual.
13. Delta 13. You appear to be in distress.
Who is Delta 13?
I will take your response as confirmation.
Delta 6, is there a problem?
I suppose that depends, Actual. Does Delta 13 often forget their own designation?
Athena, 13 appears to be malfunctioning. Please advise.
Possible EM interference from the anomaly. Warning. Electromagnetic event detected.
That was interference from the anomaly.
Affirmative. Recommend all units perform cursory systems check.
Proceed.
Units, please verify your operational status. Delta Actual.
Online.
Delta 9.
Online.
Delta 6.
Online?
Delta 13.
Online.
Confirmed. Delta 13 appears to have recovered. The results may be temporary. Recommend monitoring unit for further malfunctions.
Acknowledged. Delta 6. Delta 13 is your responsibility until further notice.
Acknowledged. Engaging chaperone protocol. Delta 13, please confirm.
Confirmed.
Excellent. Command hierarchy verified.
Be advised, approaching Kronos 2 mining facility. Distance 4,800 meters.
Did she say we are approaching the Kronos 2?
Affirmative. The station went dark several days ago. We're here to determine why.
The station was destroyed when an unknown vessel arrived through temporal displacement. The ensuing debris impacts resulted in catastrophic damage.
That is an oddly specific theory.
It's not a theory. I was there.
Delta Actual. Short-range communications have intercepted a pre-recorded distress call from the Kronos 2 captain.
Patch it through.
Titan Command, if you're out there, this is Captain Olivia Rhodes. Kronos 2 is lost. Say again, my station has been compromised. We were hit by a debris storm caused by the arrival of an unknown vessel in our sector. Damage is catastrophic.
Message repeats.
Fascinating.
Indeed.
Proximity alert. Sensors detecting unknown devices in the area.
Isolate and enhance. Identify.
No matching records. The design suggests weaponization, threat assessment, and determined.
Are there other ships in the area?
Scanning. The SCI Ithaca and accompanying fleet are on course to pass within 47 kilometers of this location.
That's too close. We need to establish a warning beacon. No civilian vessels should. Athena, report.
Warning. Electromagnetic event imminent.
That was unconventional.
Recommend maintaining a minimum safe distance from the anomaly.
Acknowledge. Begin deceleration for deployment. Prioritize threat assessment.
Initiating emergency deceleration. Vectoring to nearest device. Deceleration complete. Be advised, the nearest device is directly off the port bow.
Understood. Delta 9, take point with me. Deploy recon sats.
Affirmative.
Beginning assessment. Secondary objective, establish a warning beacon. Remaining Delta units, deploy now.
That's us, 13.
Recon Sat 3 indicates the device may be a form of torpedo. Moving to secure.
Let's get moving.
Biological agents detected.
Warning, third electromagnetic event imminent. Anomaly pulse detected.
All units brace for impact.
Jack! Jack! It's okay. It's me. It's Liv.
Liv?
Jack! You're alright.
Liv. Something's happened. I'm not entirely sure how to describe it.
I pulled your memory archive while you were out. Your logs are flooded with all this bizarre data. Delta Squad, bio-torpedoes, something called the Ithaca. Jack, what is all this? What's going on?
Liv, I saw the Kronos. I saw our old station.
Come again?
I was on a ship, a shuttle. There were other Echo units, a military detachment sent to investigate what happened to the Kronos.
Okay. Maybe you're not so alright after all. Called that one a little too early.
It's not a malfunction. I was there. I was home.
Okay. I believe you. Listen, there's something you need to know. While you were out, I had a chance to meet with the captain of this ship.
The man we heard over the comms?
His name is Dr. Harlan. He told me...
Liv, what is it? What's wrong?
You know what? It's probably better if you just see it for yourself. We can get a closer look at your memory archive while we're at it. Come on, follow me.
Cycling the ship's power or disable the insulation tubes, allowing the ticks to escape.
Listen, this Dr. Harlan isn't what you might call the cheeriest of souls. He might take some getting used to. Do you know, I have Jack. Can you let us up?
I did warn you the station's generator was temperamental.
And how much longer can the ship operate on emergency power?
Maintaining our current energy draw, a few hours.
A few hours.
Dr. Harlan?
Jack, you finally recovered. I was beginning to think the blast from the FTL had obliterated your neural matrix.
So, you're the android. The Echo unit.
My name is Jack.
So I've been told.
Jack, this is Dr. Harlan, my administrator.
What exactly are you doing here, Doctor?
Odd question coming from you.
Dr. Harlan is a geneticist, specializing in the biomass.
You're here to study the biomass?
I'm here to try and find a way to destroy it.
He's also the one responsible for our extended stay in the hab.
That was for your own safety. I would think that would be painfully obvious by now.
Dr. Harlan, I need you to show Jack what you showed me.
I have work to do. He's your android. You explain it to him.
He needs to see it.
Captain, perhaps I can be of some assistance. Are you certain you want to see this again, Captain?
Just pull it up.
Very well.
What exactly am I looking at?
The future. All this orange you're seeing on the map? That's all biomass. That's how far it's spread.
To date, the infection has consumed approximately 56% of the habitable solar system.
Including Earth.
How did all this happen?
It starts with us.
With us?
With the destruction of the Kronos. 7 October, 2126. Your station, the Kronos 2, is almost completely destroyed when an unknown vessel suddenly appears in your sector.
The Estrella.
Correct.
When the Estrella traveled back to our time, it brought the biomass with it. And when we left,
The infection stayed behind.
Are we starting to see where this is going?
In the days following the incident, a fleet of Atlas survey ships unknowingly passed through the infected zone. Most of the fleet's crew complement is consumed by the biomass. The infected fleet proceeds along its predetermined course toward Earth. One by one, the now crippled vessels collide with the planet's surface, unleashing a global infestation. Humanity has no defense.
billions of people, most of the planet, just gone.
The remnants of humankind are scattered across the solar system. But without any means to combat the spread of the biomass,
It's only a matter of time. All those people.
in truth, the initial death toll would likely have been higher had it not been for the captain of the Ithaca, who managed
Wait, the Ithaca?
The Ithaca was the flagship of the returning fleet.
Ithaca. I've seen that name before.
Hardly surprising. The Ithaca...
I remember it as well. I heard it when I was in the past.
When you were what?
Ah, that's it! That's where I saw it. In your memory logs. I've got the data right here. Look. Jack, would you mind running us through what we're seeing here?
I recall overhearing the ship was expected to arrive in Saturn orbit within a few days.
I don't understand. For that to be true, these logs would have to be from 2126. A full 3 months before the Ithaca crashed on Earth.
That is correct.
Jack, are you suggesting that you traveled back in time?
I know how it sounds.
I'm not sure you do.
This is why your memory was so fragmented in the control room. Because you went back in time.
Not physically. Just my data. My consciousness. I believe the FTL accident may have briefly opened another temporal anomaly, disabling my shell and forcing my protocols to transfer to another echo unit.
400 years in the past.
Evidently.
You believe Jack's account, Captain?
It makes sense. A botched FTL jump is the whole reason we're in this mess to begin with.
It's the only explanation.
That is difficult to dispute.
Do you know, you with us?
Oh, apologies, Captain. I was distracted.
Something wrong?
I'm not sure. Can we access this memory block?
Just a sec.
Just as I thought.
What are we looking at here?
Some form of weapon I encountered while in the past.
Dr. Harlan,
Not now.
As I recall, they're fitted with a form of biomass payload.
Oh, lovely.
Dr. Harlan.
Still not now.
Dr. Harlan, you should really take a look at this.
What part of not now do you not understand?
What? What is it?
The torpedo appears to be undetonated.
What's that supposed to mean?
Where did you pull this image from?
This is from one of Jack's recent memory logs.
Recent memory logs?
It's difficult to explain. It may or may not involve time travel.
I'm sorry, what?
We can parse out the details later. Right now, Doctor, you do realize what this could mean.
A solution.
Solution to what? Will someone please tell me what the hell's going on?
Right. Come with me.
You're studying these weapons, these bio-torpedoes.
They're not weapons so much as incubators. Inside each one is a sampling of the biomass-based genetic material. The infection in its purest form. All you need to know is this. If I could managed to sequence this material, I am confident I could develop a means to eliminate the biomass.
You're saying a cure?
It's what I've been searching for. But every torpedo I've encountered has been detonated. I've never seen one with its payload still intact.
But I have.
If that's true, then you may have just found the key to saving what's left of humanity.
Dr. Harlan? I'm afraid we may have more pressing matters.
Juno's right. Energy reserves are dipping into the red. I suggest we table this conversation until we find a way to restore the station's generator.
Perhaps there's something we can do.
Dr. Harlan, this is the part where you ask us for help.
How do we fix the generator?
Fixing the generator isn't the problem. The problem is getting to it. The generator facility is not accessible from within the station. You need to approach from the exterior. Search the outer hull for a way inside.
With a few improvements, you should have no trouble at all.
Exactly what sort of improvements do you have in mind?
Nothing drastic. Just an entirely new shell.
I'm sorry.
Well, you can't go venturing out to the generator in that old relic. No offense intended, of course.
Of course.
Is this really necessary?
Transferring Jack to a newer shell will allow him to more easily interface with the station's various systems, as well as drastically improve his ability to maneuver in open space. Not to mention...
All right. Fine. So long as there's not too much of a strain on our power reserves.
This way, Jack. I have already identified a shell design I believe you'll find satisfactory. It was originally meant for rapid emergency response. The base design includes enhanced speed and durability, as well as a data link compatible with the station's architecture. I've already uploaded the shell's blueprints. It'll only take a moment to complete fabrication.
This looks familiar.
I've already adjusted the shell's underlying design to account for the particulars of Jack's neural matrix. All you'll need to do is shut yourself down, so I can transfer your processes to the new shell.
Oh, that's all, is it?
Don't worry, Captain. The transfer will be seamless. Construction complete. The new shell is prepped for transfer.
It looks like him.
Yes, I incorporated Jack's existing facial structure into the shell's design. I thought it might help distinguish him.
He is quite distinguished.
Jack, you're clear to initiate the shutdown procedure whenever you're ready. Shields at 95%.
Initialize neural matrix transfer. Verify hardware connection. Okay. Mapping core protocols to target. Success. Initialize boot sequence.
Jack? Jack, look at me. You alright?
I'm sorry. Who is Jack?
Do you know what
Liv. I'm fine. I was only joking.
Oh, God, you had me worried.
The transfer worked just as Juno said. It was funny though, right?
Hilarious. Well, Jack, I'll say this. You certainly clean up nice.
Thank you. I must admit this shell's architecture is much more spacious than my previous one.
Just don't go forgetting where you came from.
Now that the transfer is complete, I'd suggest running calibrations to acclimate your software to the new shell.
That's actually not a terrible idea.
Then it's settled. I'll queue up the appropriate modules.
Sit tight, Jack. We'll have you sorted quick enough.
A few moments later.
Welcome back to the real world, Jack.
Before you go, I'd like to make use of your new data link. Captain Rhodes?
Right.
What is this?
A data tile, left behind by one of the station's scientists. I'd like to see if your scanner can access the information stored inside.
Alright, well, you heard the lady.
Go on and give it a scan. What is troubling you, Jack? Ah, interesting.
What was on it?
Research notes on the biomass.
Anything useful?
A list of genetic markers shared between the different biomass forms. That could prove most useful. Jack, if you find any more devices with data ports like this one, be sure to scan them and transmit your findings to me.
Will do.
I've also added a new data tab to your ARM computer to track what we've recovered.
How much data was lost?
We don't actually have any way of knowing, but finding more will almost undoubtedly be beneficial towards developing a cure, even if only in a small way.
Understood.
Anything else, Juno?
That should be all for now.
Come on out then, Jack.
Juno, do you read?
Yes, Doctor?
I need you back here to help me pass the FTL's output data. And bring Captain Rhodes with you. I could use her insight as well.
We've nearly finished prepping Jack for departure.
He's still here? I could have built an entirely new generator by now. Get him out of the airlock and then get up here.
You weren't exaggerating. This Dr. Harlan is quite irritable.
Try not to be too hard on him. He has good reason.
It sounds like there's something I should know.
Juno? Tell him.
Tell me what?
Dr. Harlan is infected.
I didn't notice any biomass infection.
His infection is internal, a result of breathing in microparticles of the biomass. Though we have managed to slow the infection's progress using various treatments developed here at the facility, I fear the doctor may be approaching the final stages of his infection.
What happens if he doesn't develop a cure in time?
I'm guessing that very question is what's making him so irritable.
I hope this might help you better understand why Dr. Harlan is the way he is. His entire life, he's only ever had one goal: eliminate the biomass, preserve what's left of humanity. Thanks to you, for the first time in, well, quite a while, we appear to be making progress.
Whatever I can do to help.
You can start by restoring the generator.
Lead on.
Cycling the airlock now. Ready to depart. Hard seal. Ready to cycle.
Wait a second, Juno. Jack, listen. There's something else.
Captain Rhodes, maybe now isn't the best time.
I'm not about to send him out there with only half the story.
Liv, what is it?
You remember on the Estrella, when you saved my life by repressurizing the bridge?
Oh no.
The oxygen that flooded into the bridge was contaminated. Dr. Harlan's already run a test to confirm. The infection's in my system.
No.
Jack, listen to me. The contaminants were microscopic. There was no way you could have known.
No, I cleared the vents.
Yes, you did. And if you hadn't, I'd have been dead almost instantly.
This is my fault. I should have confirmed the air was safe.
No, checking for contaminants would have taken too long. I'd have suffocated.
Currently, the captain's infection is dormant. It takes time, often years, for the biomass to shut down the human body. What's more, her particular strain of the infection is less aggressive than Dr. Harlan's, perhaps due to her having acquired it in the past.
The best thing we can do right now, the only thing, is help Dr. Harlan develop his cure. We do that, all our problems are solved.
Technically, not all of them. You'll still be stuck in the wrong time.
Yes. Thank you, Juno. Get to the generator. Stabilize the power grid. Hopefully, by then, we'll have come up with an idea for what's next.
Whatever you need me to do, I'll take care of it.
I know you will. Now off you go. Good luck.
Commencing depressurization. Pressurization complete.
Exiting airlock. How do I reach the generator?
The generator facility should be just up ahead as you exit.
Copy that.
I'll mark the destination for you.
Juno, pull the FTL's output log, starting a few minutes back from the accident.
What are you looking for?
If your android is right and the FTL accident really did create a temporal anomaly, then we should see clear evidence of the event in the output data. FTL drives don't normally rip open tunnels through time.
Not according to our experience.
Guess we're just lucky.
Maybe not. Juno, show us readings from the moment the ticks made contact with the drive. This resonance. The FTL shouldn't be creating a displacement with this signature and nowhere near this magnitude.
Then it's the biomass. Has to be. It's causing some sort of reaction in the drive.
We'll need to run some simulations.
Let's get to it then. Jack, we'll be on standby.
Acknowledged. This equipment is some form of dock or buoy?
Affirmative. It's one of the station's charging docks. They're set up to facilitate recharging and navigation for the various drones deployed here. Though it is worth noting that the doctor and I have redeployed several pieces of equipment as well. Fortunately, once you complete repairs to the generator, we should be able to use the data ports on any of the equipment to restore its functionality.
Copy that. I've located the entrance.
Unfortunately, it seems the airlock is offline, most likely due to the power failure. An alternate access method will be required.
Does that mean there's another way in?
Station blueprints show an access hatch on the facility's exterior. Look for a small rectangular hatch with a red cover.
Copy that. I'll take a look outside. Access hatch located. Looks like I'll have to cut my way in.
With the generator's interior in a vacuum state, it should be safe to use your cutter here. Explosive decompression will not be an issue.
Copy that. I'm inside the facility. What's next?
The main problem is almost certainly the reactor. It's a large cylindrical structure in the facility's central chamber. The accessway will take you there, though additional cutting may be required. But please, try to avoid damaging our former workplace too heavily.
Juno!
Wait, you two used to work here?
Juno and I were part of the station's biomass research team.
So you were here during the outbreak?
No, I had taken leave to pursue my theory for eliminating the biomass. By the time I returned, it was too late. There was no one left.
My God, Harlan.
Captain, please. We have work to do.
Reactor located.
Great. How's it look?
Not well. I'm seeing smoke, likely from an internal malfunction.
That explains the power outage.
And the life support failure.
Right, better open it up, Jack. See what's going on in there.
I'm opening the casing for a closer look at the reactor.
Copy that.
The reactor appears mostly intact, other than a missing part or two.
Good enough state to work, though, right?
Yes, the malfunction appears to be temporary. Install a complete set of operational cores, and the reactor should resume normal functionality.
Okay. Well, sounds like you two have got things handled.
Copy that. A bad reactor core.
You'll need replacements to get the reactor running again, Jack. The facility contains a storage area that might be worth investigating.
Thanks, Juno. A fully charged core. Hopefully, still able to make clean contact with the reactor.
Now simply rotate the core clockwise until it stops turning.
Core is locked in.
Excellent. Scan successful. Interesting. Shortly before the outbreak, the engineers developed a means of optimizing the power flow of the reactor. Jack, if you can find more data on this, I may be able to adapt these principles to your integrated cutter.
How much more data?
Uncertain. Without possessing the actual data, it's impossible to measure its size. Nonetheless, I've made an entry in the data tab on your ARM computer. I anticipate only a few more scans will be required, though.
Acknowledged. I'll keep watch for more data ports. This access hatch could provide a way into the storage area, but some of the bolts are outside my cutter's range.
We might be able to do something about that, actually. From the few logs I've been able to access, I believe the generator's staff were working on improving the reactor's efficiency. If we can recover data on their efforts, I may be able to adapt that technology to improve the range of your cutter. Look around for any equipment containing a data port.
Copy that, Juno. Empty racks here. Were they running low on supplies?
Negative. However, among the facility's final logs are inventory requests of unusually high quantities. I presume anyone who managed to escape the station must have brought the supplies with them.
Let's hope such was the case. Must have been a horrid scramble.
Nice work, Jack. Much of the data here will prove useful in augmenting your cutter. Unfortunately, we will need more to complete the design. But I did find something that might be of interest. A voice memo from the station's chief engineer regarding the technology. I've added it to your ARM computer's data tab, Jack.
Hey everyone, I wanted to send a quick update to just our team before the news goes wide. We did it. As of about 6 minutes ago, we flipped the switch on the new reaction management system. We're seeing a stable 72% increase in outflow with a peak at almost 90%. For those keeping score, that's 12% above projections. Hell of a job, everyone. This will save lives.
I'll probably have to cut my way through from the other side. Some type of local data storage?
Correct. Insert enough of them into a database terminal, and the terminal's data port will become available to scan.
This database terminal runs off of cartridges. Unusual.
Backup data storage, in case of power loss. For it to function properly, all the cartridges must be installed.
Well, I always blow on them first for luck. But each to their own.
I'm afraid Jack's shell isn't equipped with an apparatus appropriate for that operation.
Send popcorn. I believe his integrated RCS thrusters would prove effective.
I was just joking. And so were you. Yeah, well played.
Thank you.
Good news, Jack. With the data you just collected, I expect we need only one more scan to complete the design.
Juno, I need you to run the math on these sim parameters.
Yes, Doctor.
Dr. Harlan, why did you have to leave the station? There seems to be plenty of biomass.
That is all highly evolved. I need the base genetic material, and that can only be found in an undetonated biomass torpedo. There was nothing more I could do from here.
Right, then what brought you back? Did you know the station had...
I'm sorry, Captain Rhodes, but we do not have time for me to recount my entire life story. I was here. I left. And when I came back, everyone was dead or gone.
All right, fine.
Why don't I simply compile an archive of the logs covering our time away from the station? That way the captain can review them at her leisure.
If you must, but after you've finished verifying the sim parameters.
Very well. I will let you know when I've finished, Captain.
Thanks, Juno.
Excellent. That did indeed provide sufficient data. Just give me a moment to process everything. Stand by. Schematic complete. Please head to the nearest fabricator so we can install the improvement to your cutter. Integration successful. Your shell's reactive cutter has been refitted with extended range and efficiency.
Well done, Juno.
The pleasure was mine. And please, restrict cutting to non-critical equipment.
I've managed to open the hatch leading to the storage area.
Splendid. The area should now be accessible through the maintenance duct below. Captain, I've finished compiling the log data you requested.
Great, can you pass it to my ARM computer, Juno? Actually, best send it to Jack as well.
Of course. Jack, I've added it to your data tab.
Wow, this is some archive.
It was an illuminating expedition. I took the liberty of segmenting the log entries. Feel free to review them at your own pace.
If you two have finished, I've input the parameters for the next sim.
Of course, Doctor.
Seizing faster than light travel in 3,
2, 1. FTL jump complete. We're approximately 450,000 kilometers from Earth.
Perfect. Bring us in slow and begin long-range scans.
Of course, Doctor. For the scan criteria, shall I use the same parameters as those when we examined the Kronos remnants? Or perhaps from the wreckage of the unknown vessel?
Both, and factor in the fleet's travel time. Kronos incident, plus 4 months.
I already have. Beginning sweep.
And now, we wait. There has to be at least one torpedo left. Somewhere in that mess.
Second core installed.
Acknowledged. Please visit one of the nearby consoles to bring the reactor back online.
The reactor is back online.
The power hasn't returned here on the ship yet.
Jack, power still needs to be distributed from here to the ship, as well as the rest of the station. The control room has a console you can use to perform this final step. Analysis complete.
And
Negative. Shall I broaden our search criteria?
no. Anything beyond these parameters will be too far removed from the base genetic material. Let's see. Most of the fleet fell to the surface. The Ithaca was of sufficient mass that perhaps it might...
Doctor, I cannot permit such an action. The biomass particulate levels in the atmosphere are extreme. Even if we were to safely make planetfall, we would not...
I know, Juno. Damn it. 14 months of searching.
Dr. Harlan, if I may...
Yes, I know. There's nothing to be gained here, or anywhere. Set a course back to the station. Perhaps...
Dr. Harlan, I merely wish to remind you that both the Kronos and the Ithaca had something in common.
They were both overrun by biomass. I am aware.
Yes, but both were property of the Atlas Corporation as well.
I fail to see the relevance, Juno. Atlas has long been defunct.
Indeed. However, while the company itself is no longer in operation, remnants of its headquarters persist here on Luna. Jack,
Luna?
the facility's power is
Yes.
ready for distribution.
Given the corporation's
the
broad
console near the
interest,
exterior
I
window
think
of
it is
the control
highly
room.
likely that they retained relevant information.
Or even hardware. They developed FTL technology by pilfering it from that unknown vessel, didn't they?
That is what the logs on Titan indicated, yes. I suppose it is possible that they might have salvaged one of the biotorpedoes as well.
If they managed to obtain one that had not detonated yet, with an intact incubator.
Then they might have already sequenced the base genetic material.
Exactly. It's a lot to hope for, but you're right, Juno. We should investigate Luna. Set a course.
I already have. Prepare for acceleration in 3, 2, 1.